7 weather with meteorologist Vivian Gonzalez.
Good morning, South Florida. We are waking up to upper 70s, nearing 80 degrees already in the Florida Keys, with the humidity starting to climb. And that will make all the difference heading into the afternoon. Currently 77 in Fort Lauderdale, 76 in Miami, 79 degrees for you in Key West, with the wind out of the east-southeast, anywhere between 8 to 11 miles per hour. And on the local storm tracking radar, it is quiet. It is mostly dry. We're expecting it to be mostly dry heading into the weekend. Maybe we'll see a stray shower, but the forecast looks promising for Mother's Day. And here's a look at the next change, and it's going to be a big one as we approach the start of rainy season next week. We have high pressure keeping basically the moisture well to the north. So today, heavy rainfall expected around southern Texas and even into the northeast. And we're going to be following closely this system, which is an upper level disturbance and a front, because it's going to slowly push in our general direction. So as it moves through the northern Gulf, we're going to tap into tropical moisture heading into next week. But most of the wet weather this weekend will stay to the north and west of us. Heading into Monday, that's when the pattern starts to get much wetter across South Florida, and even on Tuesday forecasting some pretty big downpours. And here's a look at your Mother's Day forecast. Looking excellent. Mix of sun and clouds just on the steamy side. Look for a high temperature of 87 degrees. Early evening at about 80. Your boating forecast right now calls for no advisory. Southeast winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas building up to a foot. Biscayne Bay at a light chop. Florida Keys, coastal waters light to a moderate chop. With the next tide cycle, that is going to be high tide at the end of this hour for Fort Lauderdale at 6:43, 7:12 for Miami. So for today, we'll have sun and clouds. Conditions are going to feel hotter when you combine the high humidity. So we're going to top off in the upper 80s, going with 88 in Miami, but it'll feel like the 90s. Tonight, temperatures in the upper 70s with limited clouds will keep things mostly dry. And on your extended outlook, South Florida, it'll likely be dry on Sunday, turning wetter with a lot more cloud cover Monday. It'll be wet and stormy Tuesday. Wednesday, still a chance, and starting to dry up by the end of next week. That's your 7 on 7 forecast. Have a wonderful weekend.
In the Plex with what we need to know.
Morning, we're starting off with mostly sunny skies out there and temperatures warm, feeling muggier because humidity levels are starting to climb, and it's 78 degrees in Pompano Beach, Fort Lauderdale up to 75 in Hialeah, and it's 77 degrees already in downtown Miami, already nearing 80 degrees in the Florida Keys. So a very warm start. 79 in Marathon and Key West, with the wind out of the east-southeast anywhere between 5 to 12 miles per hour. And on the radar, we are showing dry conditions, and it's going to stay mostly dry throughout today. The highest chance of seeing showers and storms, that's around north central Florida into the east coast, but around southern Texas into the northeast, heavy rainfall expected today. And that's because of a developing system that will slowly change our weather pattern into next week. But here's a preview of Mother's Day. It's looking fantastic. Most likely dry all day long. If we see any activity, that will be well inland. But take a look at the high temperature for the day at 87. Your complete weekend outlook coming up in a few minutes.
I have a question.